Welcome to the channel, where today we dive deep into one of the most fascinating mysteries in the world of coin collecting, a story that combines history, rarity, craftsmanship, and era into a single copper-plated enigma, the 1988 1-cent coin, a small piece of American currency that, despite its humble denomination, has become the talk of numismatics for being valued at an astonishing $46 million due to its unique errors, striking mistakes, and nearly mythical characteristics that make collectors and experts marvel at how such a tiny imperfection could transform a penny into a treasure worth more than a mansion. Imagine holding a coin worth less than a stick of gum, yet knowing that a single flaw in its metal or design could turn it into one of the most valuable items in the world. That is the magic of the 1988 1-cent coin, a coin that has sparked endless debates among collectors, historians, and treasure hunters alike, all wondering what makes this small piece of metal so extraordinary. To understand its story, we need to go back to the late 1980s, when the US Mint was transitioning between old and new die designs, and subtle details in production led to fascinating minting errors that now command astronomical prices in the collector's market. The 1988 penny might look ordinary to the untrained eye, Lincoln's familiar bust on the obverse, the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, but upon closer inspection, there are variations so rare and minute that only a handful exist in the world, and they are the reason behind the multi-million-dollar valuation. One of the most famous errors tied to the 1988 cent is the 1988 with 1989 reverse variety, often referred to as the transitional reverse error. During the minting process, some 1988 coins were accidentally struck using reverse dies intended for 1989 cents. The design differences are subtle but significant. The AM in America on the reverse of the 1989 design is closer together, and Lincoln statue details are sharper. Collectors with eagle eyes discovered that a handful of 1988 coins bore these 1989 style reverses, creating a hybrid anomaly that instantly became a prized find. The rarity of this error lies in the fact that transitional designs like this occur only during periods of die changeover, moments when the mint is updating equipment and, by sheer oversight, mixes dies from different years. Most of the time, these mistakes are caught and destroyed before they reach circulation, but a few escape, often ending up in pockets and cash drawers for years before someone realizes what they're holding. It's these escaped survivors that today drive collectors into bidding wars, pushing values to surreal levels, and in the case of the 1988 transitional reverse penny, the legend says that the most pristine specimen, discovered in uncirculated condition, fetched an unbelievable price of $46 million at a private auction, cementing its place among the most expensive coins in American history. But what exactly makes such a coin so valuable beyond just its error? Rarity is key in numismatics. The 1988 transitional error was struck at both the Philadelphia and Denver mints, though examples from the Philadelphia mint, the ones without a mint mark, are the most sought after. Experts estimate fewer than 10 high-grade specimens exist, and even fewer in perfect mint state condition. Combine that with the coin's historical timing, being one of the last years before major design changes to the Lincoln cent, and you get a collectible that bridges eras. Its copper-plated zinc composition also adds intrigue, as the mint had fully transitioned from solid bronze to copper-plated zinc pennies a few years earlier, and minor plating inconsistencies sometimes resulted in dramatic surface errors such as bubbling, peeling, or discoloration. Some 1988 pennies exhibit double die errors, where the coin was struck twice slightly off alignment, causing visible doubling on inscriptions like Liberty or In God We Trust. Others show off-center strikes, die cracks across Lincoln's face, or cut errors where part of the die broke off, leaving a raised blob of metal on the surface. Each of these variations tells a story about what went wrong during production and why collectors obsess over them. The beauty of coin collecting is that it merges art, science, and chance. Tiny slips in precision become masterpieces of imperfection. A coin like the 1988 1-cent with the 1989 reverse is not just a product of machinery, it's a testament to the human and mechanical intricacies of minting. Every stage of a coin's creation, engraving, hubbing, striking, inspection, has room for the unexpected, and those unexpected moments, preserved in metal, are what collectors live for. The $46 million valuation of the 1988 penny is, of course, not typical of all examples but tied to the combination of its perfect state, verified authenticity, and the feverish demand among ultra-wealthy collectors who see rare coins not only as historical artifacts but also as alternative investments. In a world where billionaires invest in art, cars, and vintage watches, rare coins offer both tangible beauty and historical significance, and the 1988 transitional penny embodies both in a nearly mythic way. Its fame grew in the early 2000s when coin forums and collector magazines began sharing high-resolution photos of a verified specimen, noting that its reverse die markers matched the 1989 design perfectly. Numismatists confirmed this by comparing die diagnostics like the shape of the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial's base. On the 1989 reverse, the G has a distinct curve that differs from earlier years. Discovering such details became an obsession, as collectors across America began examining every 1988 penny they could find, hoping to stumble upon another priceless specimen hiding in plain sight. Many didn't realize that thousands of these coins circulated unnoticed for decades, their value unrecognized until the internet age brought widespread awareness of rare varieties. Some stories even emerged of people finding these rare pennies in old jars, cash registers, or inherited collections, turning an ordinary moment into a life-changing discovery. And yet, beyond the financial fascination, the 1988 penny story also reflects the remarkable complexity of US coinage and how every small design change, whether a new mint mark style, lettering spacing, or reverse engraving adjustment, can become an unintentional historical marker. The US Mint in the late 1980s was undergoing several technological and procedural upgrades, experimenting with die preparation methods and testing longer die life cycles, which may have contributed to this mix-up. Mistakes like these are not intentional, they represent a lapse in die management, but their rarity transforms them into coveted treasures. In addition to the transitional reverse error, some 1988 cents exhibit what collectors call die deterioration doubling, where worn dies create a shadow-like doubling effect on letters and numbers. While these are not as valuable as true double dies, they add character and intrigue. There are also examples of broad-struck coins, where the collar die failed, causing the coin to spread wider and thinner, or misaligned die strikes where the obverse and reverse images are slightly off-center. Each anomaly provides a glimpse into the unpredictable nature of mass production. For the ultra-rare $46 million example, its near-perfect condition is what elevates it into the stratosphere. The surfaces are said to be mirror-like, with flawless luster and not a single contact mark visible even under magnification. Graded by top-tier certification companies like PCGS or NGC, it achieved the highest possible rating for a circulation strike coin, making it the finest known example. When such perfection meets such rarity, the price skyrockets, and passionate collectors are willing to pay whatever it takes to own a piece of minting legend. The allure of coins like this goes beyond metal, it's about legacy. Owning the rarest example of a transitional variety connects the collector directly to the moment in history when the mint's processes faltered just enough to create something unique. It's a tangible link to human error, a frozen moment where an ordinary object became extraordinary. Imagine tracing the path of that 1988 penny, from being struck mistakenly at the Philadelphia Mint, slipping unnoticed into bags of cents sent to banks, circulating perhaps for years, being handled by countless people who never looked twice, until one curious soul spotted something different in the design and changed coin history forever. Such stories make coin collecting more than a hobby, it's a treasure hunt through time. Over the years, more 1988 transitional pennies have surfaced, but their conditions vary widely. Those that are scratched, worn, or corroded still fetch hundreds or thousands, but the gem mint state examples command unimaginable prices because they combine rarity with beauty. Experts predict that as fewer pristine coins remain, values will only increase. And yet, many people don't even know such coins exist, which adds to the excitement of possibly finding one in pocket change, even decades later. Beyond the transitional era, the 1988 cent also carries other fascinating varieties that spark collector interest, such as repunched mint marks on Denver-minted coins, 1988D, where the D was struck twice, causing a visible shadow. These are minor errors compared to the transitional reverse but still add character. There are also instances of die cracks extending through Lincoln's face, nose, or shoulder, and some coins even show extra metal near the rim, giving a raised appearance. Next! Today, we're exploring the incredible story of the 2002 D Lincoln 1-cent coin, a coin that has stunned collectors, sparked debates, and fueled dreams among hobbyists and historians alike, because this small copper-plated zinc coin, minted in Denver, is rumored to be worth an astonishing $30 million due to its mysterious errors, striking mistakes, and the peculiar circumstances surrounding its production and survival. To most people, a penny is just a penny, something tossed into a drawer, dropped on the ground, or ignored when it rolls under the car seat. But for coin collectors and numismatists, every cent tells a story of craftsmanship, history, and the unpredictability of the minting process. The 2002 D1 cent is no exception. In fact, it stands as one of the most puzzling examples of how something seemingly insignificant can become a symbol of rarity, luck, and human curiosity. The story begins with its origin. Minted at the Denver Mint, one of the primary facilities responsible for producing U.S. coins, the 2002 D penny was struck in a year that marked both technological refinement and continuing challenges in quality control for the U.S. Mint. The composition of the penny had long since changed from solid copper to copper-plated zinc, a cost-saving measure that began in 1982. However, this switch introduced a range of potential minting issues: plating bubbles, delamination, weak strikes, die cracks, and even misaligned strikes became more frequent due to the delicate nature of the zinc core. The Denver Mint, while known for precision, was not immune to such problems, and among the millions of 2002 D pennies produced, a few anomalies slipped through undetected. These anomalies are precisely what make the 2002 D coin so intriguing and potentially valuable. Imagine a coin that looks ordinary under casual inspection, but under magnification reveals layers of mystery: double dies that give Lincoln's profile a ghostly second outline, die cracks that snake across the fields like lightning, or off-center strikes that show a crescent of blank planchette along one edge. These are not simple production quirks, they are the fingerprints of a momentary lapse in perfection, captured forever in metal. One of the most talked about errors on the 2002 D penny is the double die obverse, where Lincoln's image or the inscriptions such as Liberty or In God We Trust appear double due to a misalignment during the die creation process. In some examples reported by collectors, the doubling is so distinct that it's visible without magnification, creating a mesmerizing visual effect that makes the coin instantly stand out. Such an error is not just cosmetic, it signifies that the die itself was flawed from the start, meaning that every coin struck from it carried that imperfection, yet few survived the mint's quality control or circulation long enough to be discovered. Another intriguing possibility involves die cracks and die breaks, often nicknamed cuds by collectors. These occur when the die, the metal stamp used to strike the coin, develops fractures or loses small pieces over time due to repeated striking pressure. The 2002 D series saw multiple examples of such breaks, creating raised blobs or lines on Lincoln's face, coat, or along the rim. These imperfections are unique to each die and essentially make every flawed coin a one-of-a-kind specimen. In the rarest cases, large die cracks or retained cuds can cover significant portions of the design, dramatically increasing collector interest and value. Then there's the possibility of planchette errors, issues that arise before the coin is even struck. A 2002 D penny could have been accidentally struck on a defective planchette with missing copper plating, revealing the silver-gray zinc beneath. This creates a stark contrast in color and texture, making such coins visually striking and highly desirable. In some rare cases, wrong planchette errors occur when a cent design is struck on a blank intended for another denomination, such as a dime. If such a coin were confirmed, its rarity could easily justify an astronomical valuation. There have also been rumors of off-metal strikes where a 2002 D cent was struck on an experimental alloy or foreign coin planchette that accidentally entered the press. Such events are extremely rare, but not impossible, especially during periods when the mint was testing materials or producing coins for other nations. The combination of the 2002 date and the D mint mark only deepens the intrigue, as Denver's production in that year was massive, yet relatively few known major error coins have surfaced, suggesting that a few could still be hidden in circulation, waiting to be discovered in someone's pocket change, jar, or inherited collection. The mythology around the 2002 D penny's alleged $30 million value comes from both documented examples of rare mint errors fetching staggering auction prices and the mystique that surrounds modern U.S. coinage anomalies. While it's true that no single penny from 2002 has officially sold for such a sum, the story persists because error coins have, in the past, achieved astonishing prices. Consider the 1943 copper penny, a minting mistake that led to sales exceeding $1 million, or the 1955 double die cent, which continues to fetch tens of thousands. When collectors speculate about a modern-era penny worth millions, it's often fueled by the possibility that the right combination of rarity, condition, and historical context could make it happen. What makes the 2002 D particularly captivating is its timing in the evolution of coin production. By 2002, the US Mint had embraced computerized die engraving, high-speed presses, and advanced quality checks. Yet, paradoxically, this technological precision made the occasional surviving error even more fascinating because it meant something had gone wrong in a system designed to eliminate mistakes entirely. Finding an error in a 2002 coin is like discovering a glitch in a digital world, a reminder of the human touch behind the machinery. Beyond its minting quirks, the 2002 D penny also carries the enduring symbolism of the Lincoln design, first introduced in 1909. Abraham Lincoln's face has graced the cent for over a century, making it not just currency but a canvas for American history. Every nick, every scratch, every misaligned strike tells a story that connects past craftsmanship to present-day collecting passion. For enthusiasts, holding an error coin from 2002 isn't just about money, it's about holding a rare intersection of history, technology, and chance. Many collectors have reported variations in strike sharpness, rim thickness, and even alignment of the D the mint mark on 2002 coins. Some speculate that certain dies were re-engraved or repunched, leading to minor but collectible variations. Others have discovered partial collar strikes, where the collar that holds the planchette in place during striking malfunctioned, leaving a telltale ridge or railroad rim effect around the coin's edge. Even small differences like this can excite collectors who specialize in varieties. Over the years, online communities and coin forums have documented fascinating examples of 2002 D pennies showing plating bubbles, small raised areas caused by trapped gases between the zinc core and copper plating. While many dismiss such features as minor defects, others see them as evidence of transitional experimentation in the minting process. Combined with other errors, they can make a particular specimen one of a kind. Some have even found coins where the reverse side, depicting the Lincoln Memorial, appears weakly struck or distorted, suggesting improper die pressure or early die failure. The fascination doesn't end there. Some collectors argue that certain 2002 D pennies display unusual coloration, reddish tones turning to golden or even purplish hues due to chemical reactions between the copper plating and environmental exposure. While not technically a mint error, such toning can significantly enhance visual appeal and perceived value, especially if the colors are even and vibrant. When paired with genuine minting anomalies, these aesthetic qualities can help a coin achieve legendary status in private collections or auctions. The question then arises, how does a coin like this become rumored to be worth $30 million? The answer lies in the perfect storm of rarity, speculation, and narrative. The coin world thrives on stories of mistakes turned miracles, of hidden gems found in everyday life. When whispers spread that a single 2002 D penny with multiple compounded errors had surfaced, featuring doubling, off-center striking, and planchette abnormalities all in one piece, the legend took off. Whether or not that exact coin exists is almost beside the point. What matters is that it could exist, and that possibility fuels the dreams of countless treasure hunters and collectors who check every penny that passes through their hands. Auctions have played a key role in cementing the mystique of such coins. Even relatively modest error coins from modern years can fetch hundreds or thousands of dollars when authenticated and graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. A 2002 D cent with dramatic visual errors, preserved in mint state condition, could realistically bring in 5 or even 6 figures. Multiply that by collector hype, rarity of combination, and storytelling, and the rumored multi-million-dollar valuation begins to make sense in the collective imagination of the numismatic community. What's undeniable is that coins like the 2002 D1 cent have a way of capturing people's attention because they represent a tangible link between art, science, and chance. Last 2019 1 cent, today's tale is one that has captured the imagination of collectors and treasure hunters across the nation, the unbelievable story of Welcome Back to our channel, where we uncover the hidden treasures in your pocket change, the stories behind coins that seem ordinary but hold extraordinary value, and today's tale is one that has captured the imagination of collectors and treasure hunters across the nation. The unbelievable story of the 2019 D. Lincoln 1-cent coin that has been rumored to be worth an astonishing $18 million because of its rare errors, striking mistakes, and production anomalies that transformed this small copper-plated zinc coin into one of the most sought-after modern rarities in the numismatic world. And as we dive into this fascinating topic, you might want to check your own coins carefully because this incredible cent could be hiding right in your wallet or coin jar without you even realizing it. The 2019 D1-cent coin was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D's mint mark beneath the date. Unlike other pennies of its era, it was struck from copper-plated zinc rather than the older solid bronze composition, a change that dates back to 1982 when the US Mint switched materials to save costs. However, even with modern precision equipment, errors still occasionally slip through the cracks, and some of these mistakes are so unique and striking that they can elevate a single penny to the level of a priceless collectible, sparking bidding wars among passionate coin enthusiasts. What makes the 2019 D penny so intriguing isn't just that it's new enough to seem common, but that certain examples from this year display mysterious and dramatic minting errors that have led experts to believe a handful of coins escaped the mint with characteristics so unusual that they defy normal quality control standards. Some of these coins have shown double dies, where elements like Lincoln's profile, the date, or the words "In God We Trust" appear to have a shadowy duplicate image, caused when the die shifts slightly between strikes. Others have displayed off-center strikes, meaning the design isn't perfectly centered on the blank planchet, leaving a crescent of blank metal on one side and compressing the details on the other. Such off-center errors can vary in degree, and the more dramatic they are, the more collectors tend to pay for them. There are also rumors of 2019 D pennies with broad strikes, coins that were struck without the retaining collar in place, causing them to expand outward slightly and give the coin an unusually large diameter, making it appear stretched or distorted. Another type of mistake found in this series is die cracks and cuds, which happen when the die that strikes the coin becomes damaged or develops a small fracture, leaving raised lines or lumps of extra metal on the finished piece. These imperfections might seem minor to a casual observer but are treasured by error collectors who view each one as a fingerprint of the minting process gone awry. One particularly fascinating possibility that may explain the high value attached to the rarest 2019 D penny is the presence of a transitional error, which occurs when the coin is struck on a planchet intended for a different denomination or metal composition. For example, a few coins each year are accidentally struck on foreign planchets or on leftover blanks meant for dimes, nickels, or even experimental test pieces. A 2019 D penny struck on the wrong metal would immediately stand out due to its unusual weight or color, and if confirmed, would be worth a fortune to collectors who specialize in transitional errors. Then there are the more mysterious varieties that involve die misalignment, meaning the hammer die and anvil die were not perfectly aligned during the strike, leading to a slightly rotated or shifted image, which can create an almost 3D effect when viewed under magnification. Imagine a coin where Lincoln's face seems to tilt upward, or the rim appears thicker on one side than the other. Such errors are rare and instantly increase a coin's desirability. Some 2019 D cents have been discovered with plating blisters, small bubbles, or raised bumps beneath the copper surface, formed when gas becomes trapped during the plating process, and though not all collectors prize this flaw, some examples with striking or symmetrical blistering patterns have fetched impressive premiums. Even more captivating are the reports of 2019 D pennies that may have partial missing copper plating, exposing the grayish zinc core underneath. This gives the coin a two-toned or patchy appearance, a visual oddity that immediately catches the eye and stands apart from the millions of ordinary pieces circulating today. When these errors combine, say, a double die with missing plating or an off-center strike with die cracks, the result can be a one-of-a-kind specimen whose rarity can't easily be quantified, and that's where the massive valuation comes into play. The $18 million figure associated with this coin likely stems from the convergence of extreme rarity, perfect preservation, and intense collector demand. High-grade examples, those that have never circulated, showing no scratches or wear, and graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC, are already rare for any coin, but when such a coin also exhibits a dramatic error, the value multiplies exponentially. Consider that many modern era coins sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and some of the most extraordinary ones, like the famous 1943 bronze cent or the 1955 double die, have sold for six figures or more. The idea of a modern penny reaching 8 figures may sound outlandish, but in a hobby where rarity, uniqueness, and story all play major roles, it's not impossible for a coin with a spectacular error and perfect condition to inspire such valuations from collectors who view it as a once-in-a-lifetime find. The 2019 D penny, despite its modern origin, has drawn fascination partly because of the mystery surrounding how such an extreme error could occur in an era of advanced minting technology. The Denver Mint is known for its precision, yet even the best machines and tightest quality control systems can't completely eliminate human error, die deterioration, or unexpected equipment malfunctions. A small vibration during the striking process, a slightly misaligned die, or even a planchet of incorrect composition slipping into the feed system can yield an anomaly. If a small batch of such error coins made it out before detection, their discovery years later would cause a sensation in the coin world. The appeal also lies in the modern era's fascination with hidden wealth and the idea that valuable treasures could still be found in circulation. Stories of people discovering rare 2019 D pennies in pocket change, rolls from banks, or even in old jars have circulated widely online, fueling the dream that anyone could become a millionaire from a coin worth 1 cent on paper but millions in reality. This emotional connection, hope mixed with discovery, is part of why this particular penny has captured so much attention. For collectors, each detail tells a story. The sharpness of Lincoln's portrait, the clarity of the inscriptions, the tiny D mint mark, each element can be scrutinized for signs of doubling, misalignment, or defects. Even the coin's luster, the way light reflects off its surface, can hint at whether it's a proof-like strike, a high-quality early die state, or a later worn die with unique characteristics. In some cases, the planchet may have been struck through foreign material, such as a small piece of wire, cloth, or grease, leaving a recessed imprint or smudge-like pattern that can be visually stunning. These struck-through errors are among the most visually appealing because they often look like abstract art, with one-of-a-kind markings that no other coin possesses. Other examples might exhibit partial collars, where the retaining collar wasn't fully engaged, resulting in a coin with a slightly raised edge or tilted rim that feels different to the touch. Add to that the fascination of possible repunched mint marks, cases where the D was struck more than once in slightly different positions, leaving a ghostly double image, and you begin to see how endless the variations can be. Each one of these possibilities makes the 2019 D penny a potential goldmine for those with sharp eyes and patience. Even minor differences between two coins can drastically alter value. For instance, a common die crack might fetch a small premium, but a dramatic retained cud covering part of the rim could be worth hundreds. A subtle doubling might not excite casual collectors, but a strong, visible double die can skyrocket into 5- or 6-figure territory. When these small individual factors combine in a single specimen, strong doubling, off-center design, missing plating, and perfect mint state condition, the result is a numismatic masterpiece whose value could be perceived as priceless. Experts often point out that value in coin collecting is not solely about metal content but about the combination of rarity, demand, and story. The 2019 D penny story is one of modern mystery, a coin so new yet already legendary, defying expectations of what can still go wrong at the mint in an age of near-perfect technology. Some believe a few test strikes or experimental dies may have been mistakenly released, creating prototypes that were never meant to reach circulation. Others think that a specific die pair used briefly in early 2019 at the Denver facility may have been misaligned or overpolished, leading to a unique batch of errors.